everyone. Welcome back to our little mini movement series. We're going to use the ball again today for some soft tissue release of the back of the hips and the feet, because those can get quite sore and tired just being in bed for a while or not doing your regular mobility work, even just getting out and for a walk in the community if you're early postnatal or post-recovery. So we'll need that today. I am using a 4-inch inflated ball, which is a little bit squishy. It's a nice one to do in early recovery. If you want a slightly denser or smaller ball, you're welcome to use that. A lacrosse ball or a tune-up ball can be great. Just go gentle, listen to your body. Don't let the releases feel any more painful than a 4 on 10-ish. And we really want to make sure that we can relax into those releases with the ball, okay? Those are sort of our guidelines. Here we go. We're going to start laying down. And placing the ball under the back of a hip right into the meat of your seat and the glutes. So from here we can sort of wiggle and roll right, left, up, down, but then we're going to pause and pin. So option to have both knees up, one leg down. You can just let the weight of your leg and the femur coming down into the joint just do its thing there. You can breathe, soften, melt. You can maybe, if you want to go a little bit deeper and it's not too painful in there, you can let your knee fall in over to that right side, maybe over to that left side, starting with small ranges and allowing it to get bigger. Next progression, if you want to move forward, you can sort of pause at any of those angles, or you can even bring your knee up towards your chest a little. Ideally, you want to sort of progress with some movement, but then you want to find a spot where it's your edge and you want to pin. You want to rest and release there. So you can breathe into your low back, breathe into the rib cage, 360 all the way around the rib cage, maximally moving that diaphragm to get that deep core system moving well again. You can imagine the ball engaging the soft tissue of the back of the hip, melting it like butter, spraying it like taffy. Every time you exhale, option to engage centrally to the deep core system. So that includes pelvic floor gathering up and in, segmental TA gathering up and in, and then obviously using your breath, which incorporates the diaphragm as well. Imagine your head filling like a helium-filled balloon to the wall behind you can help to lengthen gently out the spine to get the spinal multifidus going, all those segments of the deep core. Option to pause here for you, find another spot on that glute for the sake of the mini movement snacks throughout our day. We're going to move over to the other side. So you can twist to the opposite side to offload, and then we'll pop it in the other side. Find your edge. It might be different side to side. So let's start just where we were, wiggling the knee outside, inside. Maybe you want to straighten that leg down. Lots of different options, okay? Could pin it here, come into a little bit of a side bend in your upper body. Really just finding what works for you. Breath here. On the exhale, we connect centrally. Pelvic floor, segmental TA. Head float to get multifidus. Think about gently lengthening out your tailbone. Lengthen out that low back. Always welcome to come back if where you were was no longer serving you. You felt like things were getting a little bit tighter. Maybe things were getting tighter in your low back. That's okay to come back out a little bit. Again, option to stay here longer if that feels welcome for you. We're going to move on for the sake of the video. We're going to come up seated and then finally up standing. We're going to release in through the feet. So you can use the larger ball as well. It's going to be a little more broad, so option to go grab a slightly smaller ball for you at home. Okay? We're going to play a little bit with the different lines of the foot. So we think about big toe line, and then middle toe line and pinky toe line. And so we can roll the ball forwards and back along those lines. So as the ball rolls forwards, our heel can come down to hit the floor, and then similarly the opposite way. Okay? This just helps to keep the ball with you under that hip on the floor so you can really get the best modulation of pressure. You don't have to push hard. You just want to get some mobility, get the ball through those soft tissues of the feet, but also imagining like they're getting to those multiple joints of the feet too. So option to keep your heel pinned here as the ball rolls forwards. You can just stay here, feel a nice sort of lower leg calf stretch. Imagine that head flowing like a helium-filled balloon again, tail is gently anchored towards the floor. And every time you exhale, you can think about TA, pelvic floor, wherever you like. Option here to come forwards again with a little mini step to get even more of a stretch in through the back of that right calf. Wherever you are, find your breath, find your gentle elongation against gravity. I'm using the bed here as a support for me to help me stay balanced. You can put as much or as little weight on that support as possible. Every time it releases, you can see if there's a little bit more length you can give it, but don't go so far that you feel like everything's gripping and bracing again too much. All right, welcome to stay longer, of course. We're gonna do the other foot. Inside line, big toe line, middle line. Don't forget the toes in there. And that outside line. So let's pin the ball under the knuckles of the toes, that arch of the foot, that front arch. Let the heel drop down, and we can find, one's a little bit tighter than the other one. You can find that edge for that day, for that side. Head's floating, 360 breathing. Exhale, connecting. Nice. You can pick that ball up, just put it someplace safe so it doesn't roll away. We're gonna come into a lunge onto that right side. So right foot comes forward, left foot comes back. A little high lunge, use the edge of your bed for support, or the wall, a chair, wherever you like. Or if you're feeling strong and energetic today, you don't need to use a support. We're gonna come down into a little bit of a lunge here so that back heel can lift if that feels comfortable, or it can stay grounded. So think of like warrior one or a high lunge, depending on how energized you feel. I'm gonna stay lower energy today. And then you're gonna come up into standing. Okay, let's pick up that back heel so it's almost like you're trying to flick the floor away with your back toes, engaging that whole back line of the back leg. Bending through that front knee, back heel comes down, and we lunge forwards. We'll press up, straighten that right knee, front knee, and we'll lift the heel on the back leg. Nice, one more. Warrior one, or high lunge there through the front. Straighten that front knee, lift the back heel. Switch sides. Find your warrior one legs or your lunge. We're gonna straighten that left knee, lift the right heel. Right heel comes grounded, bend in through that front knee. Straighten, lift right heel drops down, bend that left knee. Last one here, and lift that right heel. There we go, a little mini movement break today. We did some sort of release work and align work with the ball, and then some connected move work with that little gentle active piece there. So I hope your legs and lower limbs feel a little more energized today, a little bit more working, sliding, gliding. We'll see you next time. Make sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day.